their structure is much more finer as our structure as human being from the earth. And it's impossible for them to make shake hands with the human on earth, or only go near them, because it's very dangerous for them. And they also are out of our room space, out of our time space. They are not there where are our Pleiades.
Billy, what is telepathy, and can we develop it?
Telepathy, that's kind of hearing too, of listen, but on a very, very fine way. You use the ears for this telepathy. We call it the primary telepathy. That's not the real telepathy. The real telepathy, that's spiritual telepathy, and this goes on and is based on symbols. But the primary telepathy is working on words and on pictures, real like a photography or something, a body or something, what you can produce into other human being through his air and through his consciousness.
Are there exercises?
I never learned.
I think we're going to have to give them the kitchen up soon, but before we stop, what do you got?
Are we able to evolve far enough in this life to be able to get into the Akashic records and to learn our personal keys?
Well, first of all, maybe you could tell us, what is the Akashic record?
The Akashic record is, we call it by another name, cosmical Speicher. There records everything that's a level around the sphere, around the earth. And there will be recorded everything what is doing a human being, what he is thinking, what he is feeling, what he is speaking, what he is doing. Everything will be there recorded. And if you die and return in another incarnation, you will get impulses from there. And then you get eine Ahnung.
Unknown.
And then you know things, you know, you get results without knowing from where. That's all made out of this Akashic record. And sometimes you can find people, but they are very, very few only. They can use the Akashic records for getting impulses out of there from other people, not from himself, because his frequency is very near to them of the other one who he can get impulses from them. Then maybe can be a drawer or a writer or a componist or something who get impulses and then you say, oh, that's Michelangelo. He has contact with Michelangelo, but he hasn't contact with Michelangelo. He only gets impulses out of the Akasha records from that frequency who had, especially what I told you, Michelangelo.
How do we learn to use the keys? How do we learn what our keys are?
Through the meditation too. Everything you will do on spiritual way or on consciousness way is going through the meditation and initiation. Always. There is no other way.
Billy, we always talk about the word love. What is it?
Got a few days.
It's impossible to tell you in a short way.
But there is a thing called love. But there is love.
There is love, of course.
And it's not intellectual, it's spiritual.
I don't have the translated word. There is a short way to say what's the law, but I don't know to tell in English.
Okay.
Maybe if you ask Bruni, he can tell you, he can translate you.
I think maybe we can kind of finish, and if you have maybe just a message to everybody about the information the Pleiadians are bringing us. Maybe just something you'd like to say to people about, a message from yourself about the mission.
Can you go here?
And we'll finish. I think something about how it might be useful to information, or how to learn to be 100% responsible for themselves, or just some reason why they should pay attention to all the information.
You see what I have to say? Each human being, what he is doing every time, at day, at night, week by week, month by month, year by year, he is always responsible for himself. There is not a God who is responsible for the human doing. There are not angels. There is not holy people who is carried for the human being the responsibility. The human being always is responsible for everything for himself.
Oh, yeah. This can be short. Some years ago, Wendell Stevens, I think, made a model when you were taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the pictures are floating around America, and maybe you could just a short question. Why they made the models?
There was made two models.